Birdemic, Shock and Terror, a film from 2010, written, produced, and directed by James Enjuan. Birdemic, Shock and Terror, one of my favorite B movies. Welcome to Body Bags. I'm your Thursday reviewer, Chris, from Chris B Movies. You know my name is Chris, and you know I love B movies, and yes, this is one of my favorite B movies. I'm going to put this one on the cheeseometer right now. 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. I give it a perfect 10. It's a film that's an hour and 45 minutes, and still never overwhelms its stay. It's so much fun. Albeit with the wooding acting and the CGI birds, who never really attack people, they just hover over people. Birdemic is so much fun. Holds a very special place in my heart. Such a fun film. Here's a little something about James Enjuan. You probably heard this story. He actually showed up at the Sundance Film Festival, handing out flyers about his movie, Birdemic. And he had a van with stuffed birds attached to his van. His van looked absolutely ridiculous. And then he had a sign on it that says, why did the eagles and vultures attacked? Now, you would say attack, right? But it says, why did the eagles and vultures attacked? And even spelled Birdemic wrong. Gotta love this one. But he handed out flyers because he was showing his film at a local bar, which obviously didn't make it to the Sundance Film Festival. But whatever. You really fall in love with Rod and Natalie, played by Alan Bagg and Whitney Moore, and their growing relationship with each other. It starts off slow and builds up. And I kind of like that aspect of the film where it started off nice and slow and innocently and kind of built up. It was very awkward in the beginning when they were talking to each other. He saw her at a restaurant. She went to walk out. He followed her out, and he asked her out very innocently and awkwardly at the same time. But they got this budding relationship. You see, they went to school together, but she never remembered him from school. He kind of sat in the back. He was that guy. So the budding relationship, which takes up the first 45 minutes of the film, without even seeing a bird, is innocent and awkward at the same time. The scenes where Whitney and her mother, when they meet up, very odd scenes. Very awkward scenes. The mother's not that great of an actress. But neither is anybody else in this film. The reactions to things are hysterical. Like, he's like, I caught a fish. And she's like, I got seaweed. He's like, good. I'm going to take the fish and I'm going to cook it. Absolutely hysterical film. So, after they consummate their relationship in a hotel area, when they wake up the next day, they find out that these birds are hovering. And they figure, something bad's going on. So they run. So eventually they take their bed, and they put up against the window so that the birds won't get in. Obviously, there was plenty of room for them to get in if they really wanted to. So once the birds started leaving the area, they run into another and meet up with another couple, and just knock on the hotel room door. Yeah, let us in. They come in and they meet up with an ex-Marine and his girlfriend, and then they start going on the road with them. They find a lot of dead bodies along the way. And then they find these two kids who have escaped the attack of the vultures and eagles. Unfortunately, their parents did not survive. So, Natalie and Rod take the kids with them and eventually form this automatic family that ends up enveloping. Now, I'm not going to tell you who died and who didn't die, but people do die along the way. People you get kind of close to in the film die along the way. But will Rod, Natalie, and the kids survive? Well, that's something you got to find out by watching Birdemic. It's so worth it. If you want a good laugh, have a good time watching a film, an hour and 45 minutes, you got that time to watch Birdemic, because Birdemic is so much fun. I have yet to see Birdemic 2, but I heard it's extremely bad. But I don't care. I love this film. I could watch this film over and over and over and over again. That's why I give it a perfect 10 out of 10. James Enjuan, thank you so much. And like I say, the birds, the eagles, and vultures, they hover over people, but they never attack. They're just hovering. And people start dying and getting bloodied up and kind of getting bruised up. And hysterical scene. There's a scene where there's this big autobus going by, and so Rod and Natalie go in to help them. And the people are like, no, don't come in here. So Rod and Natalie go in, and they're like, you gotta go, come with us. Come with us, we've got a big van and everything. And they're like, no. So finally they get the people to leave the auto bus, and while the people are leaving, they're yelling, no, I can't go, while they're leaving the bus. Spoiler alert, those people don't survive. Such a fun film. Wooden acting all around. There's not too many people that are best actor. The tree hugger guy was probably the best actor in the film, Steven Gustafson. I love him. He's one of my favorite side characters from any film. He plays a tree hugger, Tom Hill, and he's a guy that kind of lives in the trees and is a protector of the trees, and is aggravated that there's not enough rain and trees are dying, and these beetles are eating up all the trees. He's one of my favorite side characters, kind of like alongside the Eggman from Pink Flamingos, the party cop from what's the name of that movie? Cabin Fever. Yeah. Just a couple side characters that you really enjoy. Oh yeah, the Kung Fu Professor from Pieces. These side characters that you really end up loving. I love this guy. I love Steven Gustafson, Tom Hill. Nobody probably ever, pays much attention to him, but I love side characters like that in the film. And this film has connotations of global warming. James Enjoan seemed to be really into global warming, and there's even a part of the film where, the two couples, Rod and Natalie and their friends, go to see An Inconvenient Truth, the Al Gore film in the theaters, and start talking about global warming. So there are connotations of global warming within the context of this film. And then out of nowhere, after everything that's going on, the eagles and vultures just kind of fly away. Now, I did read up on it, and they flew away because they wanted to give humans peace and a second chance to protect the environment. Yeah, awesome. Now, there's scenes where this place takes place in California, where there's birds around everywhere, but there's scenes where people are rushing to jump in their car to go, and then there's scenes where people just cavalierly walking the beach for a long period of time, fishing, cooking fish. When there's an epidemic of birds and vultures flying around everywhere, would you be cavalierly walking the beach or cavalierly walking the woods? Those scenes just crack me up, because how do you know there's not eagles and vultures around? But anyway, such a fun film. I could go on and on about Birdemic. I love this film, holds a special place in my heart. I give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, what else needs to be said about a masterpiece B film like Birdemic? I love it to death. So hopefully you get your copy from Severn. You can get this one from Hamilton Books for really cheap, or you can get it from the Severn site or Grindhouse Video. Oh yeah. So check up next Thursday with more great stuff coming your way from Chrisb Movies, baby. Check out all the other reviewers. They do an awesome job. Very passionate about the films that they review for you. And again, check out Birdemic. Please subscribe to Body Bags and Chrisb Movies. Very important. And like I say, I will tune in to you next week. You won't be tuned in to me. I'll be tuned in to you next week, giving you all the goods, giving you more movies like Birdemic. Fun little B movies to watch. Don't forget to check out those late night horror movies. Read up on your latest Fright Mags. Please don't forget to tune in to another episode of the show we call Body Bags. And if you don't protect your environment, you're gonna get some mutated eagles and vultures spewing deadly acid on you, wiping you out of existence. Later, guys.